I still think we should go with red. Why not?
You throw your hands like you want red. What color you want?
I only have two choices, shit.
Okay, red or blue.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is awesome to see you again. Today, I have another American English listening lesson for you. We are going to use a video from Jubilee's series called Human Theory. It's a really interesting look at how different people think, and it also has a bunch of great new phrases and vocabulary that you can learn and start using right away. Let's get started.
We wanted to explore how humans make decisions, so we brought 6 strangers together to compete for $1,000.
Do you guys know why you are here?
To win money.
Money.
How to win the money?
Playing a game.
By being
Human
smart.
nature. Asking questions.
I have no idea.
I just work at an ice cream shop right now, but want to do acting and stuff. The money would just be for food and rent and stuff.
I need the money because if I don't get the job I'm interviewing for, I'll need it to pay rent.
I need the money because I gotta pay my bills, so.
I want the money so that I don't have to dig into my own money to finance my nephew even more than I already have.
I like money, so, and I have bills.
I don't make a lot of money and I need some gas money.
Who wants to be team captain?
I'm gonna take Deshola. He seems very confident and I like him.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go safe and go in the middle with Kira. You definitely know what you want.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take CJ.
Welcome to the family.
We gave both teams the choice between the color red and the color blue. If both teams choose blue, then they'll each get $300. If one team chooses red and the other chooses blue, the red team wins $1,000 and the blue team loses. If both teams choose red, they both lose. A surprise rule can be introduced at any point in the game.
Okay, hopefully you were able to understand that. Now I want you to pause the video and try to explain the rules of the game. Speak your answer, and you can record yourself if you want, and then compare your answer to the example answer I will give. So, how does this game work? How will they win money? In this game, the 6 people were divided into 2 teams. Each team will choose either red or blue. If both teams pick blue, each team will win $300. If one team picks red, but the other team picks blue, the red team wins $1,000 and the blue team wins nothing. If both teams pick red, they both win nothing. So there's really one choice, red or blue. Let's do some listening practice. Listen and write down what Dax says here.
The money would just be for food and rent and stuff.
I'll play that again.
The money would just be for food and rent and stuff.
He says, the money would just be for, food and rent and stuff.
The money would just be for food and rent and stuff.
Now listen for what Patricia says here.
I'm gonna go safe and go in the middle with Kira.
Let's hear that again.
I'm gonna go safe and go in the middle with Kira.
Patricia says, I'm gonna go safe and go in the middle with Kira.
I'm gonna go safe and go in the middle with Kira.
A few vocab words from that section. Rent, you probably know this as a verb. As a noun, it usually refers to the money that you have to pay every month to live in your apartment. And then Patricia said that she doesn't want to dig into her savings, and that means to start using something that you've been saving up. So she doesn't want to start spending the money that she's been saving. Let's keep watching the video.
The game.
I'm a little stressed out.
I feel like red is the safest because it's either you win or you don't. It's
That's fair.
or nothing. I would describe myself as a competitive player, a competitive person. I'm fine with money. I don't know if money's fine with me, but I'm fine with money.
When he said the colors, I immediately thought red.
Yeah, I did
just
too.
because red stood out, but they probably would think the same thing. I get real serious when I'm playing games. I just want to win. I live in LA, okay? If you don't have any money, Which, I mean, I'm not saying I have money, but if you don't have money, just money in general, it's like you can't live.
I would rather go with red because I'd rather choose the side of greed than sharing. I have a lot of financial problems. Things are a little tight when I'm not working. I'm not much of a saver.
Patricia said she don't need the money.
She's a little off. I really feel like she would say blue.
You're right.
But I don't think she's gonna say blue.
You really think she's gonna say red?
Yes, because red, I immediately was like red. My mind was just racing. I was like blue, blue, red, red, blue, red, but I'm stressed out.
I still think we should go with red. Why not?
You throw your hands like you want red. What color you want?
I only have two choices, shit. I don't know.
Red or blue?
I mean, I want
10
the green.
seconds. Red or blue?
Okay, so first off, what color does April want to pick and why? April was the older white lady. April says she wants to pick red because she'd rather be on the side of greed than the side of sharing, which is kind of a selfish attitude, but she's being honest. How about CJ? She's the black woman. What color does CJ want to pick and why? CJ says she wants to pick red because it's the safest choice. You either win or you don't. Now listen and write down what DeSola says here.
If you don't have money, just money in general, it's like you can't live.
Let's play that again.
If you don't have money, just money in general, it's like you can't live.
He says, if you don't have money, I mean just money in general, it's like you can't live.
If you don't have money, just money in general, it's like you can't live.
Now listen and write down what CJ says here.
You really think she's gonna say red?
Yes.
Let's hear that again.
You really think she's gonna say red?
Yes.
She says, you really think she's gonna say red?
You really think she's gonna say red?
Yes.
Okay, some more vocabulary. CJ says that she's fine with money. That just means that she accepts and she enjoys this thing. I'm fine with is a common idiom that can either be paired with a thing, money, or an action. If it's with an action, that's like saying I am okay or I would be happy doing this action. For example, if your friend asks what you want to do today and you say, I really want to just relax at home. If your friend says, I'm fine with relaxing at home, that means that he's okay with doing that. He thinks it's a good idea. So if you use tight to describe money, if you say that your money is tight, that means that you don't have a lot of extra money, so you have to be smart with how you spend your money. You can't waste it on stupid stuff. And if a person is off, CJ said she thought Patricia seemed a bit off. That just means that the person is strange, weird, or not normal. Let's keep watching.
They're greedy.
You think so?
Based on what happened when we first came out, April pleaded her case.
I'm a library technician, a public school employee. I commute all the way from Santa Clarita to Beverly Hills every day.
She needs money. I think the other two love money. I compete most against myself first. My relationship with money is kind of like men. Either you have one or you don't. We have to go based on what we think they chose. It has nothing to do with what we choose.
Well, you also have to think of like what they perceive us as.
I think they think we're going to be nice.
I'm very stubborn sometimes. There's not a lot of things that I might like really want, but if I want it, I'm like probably usually very competitive about it.
They all seem like very friendly and stuff, and games are all about strategy. I'm friendly. I think I probably kind of weird.
Dax, are you competitive?
Yeah, but I keep it in check. Yeah, because if you're too competitive, yeah, perspective is what's important, I think.
Okay, now we got to hear from Team B. What does Patricia think of the other team? She thinks the other team is greedy. She says that she thinks April needs money and the other two love money. Okay, let's do some listening practice. Listen and write down what Kira says. Let's hear that again.
Well, you also have to think of like what they perceive us as.
She says, but you also have like what they perceive us as.
Oh, you also have to think of like what they perceive us as.
Okay, now write down what Patricia says here.
I think they think we're going to be nice.
Let's hear that again.
I think they think we're going to be nice.
She says, I think they think we're going to be nice.
I think they think we're going to be nice.
Now write down what Dax says.
Yeah, perspective is what's important, I think.
Let's hear that again.
Yeah, perspective is what's important, I think.
He says, yeah, perspective is what's important, I think.
Yeah, perspective is what's important, I think.
A few more vocabulary words. To plea your case. This is a common idiom and it just means to explain why you are right, why you're good, or why you deserve something. So you are trying to convince other people that you are right or that you deserve something. And April was pleading her case as to why she deserves the money. Commute can be a verb or a noun. As a noun, it just means the time and distance it takes you to travel from your home to your job each day, and then back to your home at the end of work. As a verb, it just means to travel this distance, to travel your commute. And Dax says he keeps his competitiveness in check. So if you keep something in check, that means to control something so you don't do anything bad. Usually this is a negative personality trait. You could say, your boss keeps yelling at work. He really needs to keep his anger in check. Okay, let's watch another clip.
You have to vote or agree to trade one of your teammates with the other team.
This stinks. I don't like this. I like our team.
I'm a volunteer
Because you're greedy, that's why.
because I'm greedy. I would feel bad if I was like her. I only switched because I thought this was a good deed, so I'm gonna win.
Patricia.
Yeah, she realized she probably chose red. That's why she's going over there. Because you want to win the money.
Oh, you could go.
No, I'm
always
just saying.
go.
No.
Anybody vote for me to go to the other side? Anybody vote for Kira to go to the other side? Anybody voting for Dax to go to the other side?
Okay.
Dax was very sweet. Like, I feel bad booting him out of the team, but like, I didn't want to go.
I don't read into it too much. Everyone is just playing the game for the first time.
Bye, Steve.
Hi, Dax.
Hi, Dax.
Hey,
How are you?
Good.
Welcome to the best team in the world.
Okay, so we got to see the surprise rule. Can you summarize what the rule was and what happened? The surprise rule was that one member from each team had to switch to the other team. CJ volunteered to switch from Team A to Team B because she thought it might help her win. Team B voted and decided that Dax should switch to Team A. Okay, listen carefully and write down what CJ says here.
I only switched because I thought this was a good deed, so I'm gonna win.
Okay, let's hear it again.
I only switched because I thought this was a good deed, so I'm gonna win.
CJ says, I only switched because I thought this was a good deed, so I'm gonna win.
I only switched because I thought this was a good deed, so I'm gonna win.
Now listen for what Kira says.
Dax was very sweet. Like, I feel bad booting him out of the team, but like, I didn't want to go.
Let's hear that again.
Dax was very sweet. Like, I feel bad booting him out of the team, but like, I didn't want to go.
Kira says, Dax was very sweet, like I feel bad booting him out of the team, but like, I don't want to go.
Dax was very sweet. Like, I feel bad booting him out of the team, but like, I didn't want to go.
Okay, to read into something, this means to analyze something to try to find a deeper meaning, that there's a hidden reason for this thing, and that it actually is more important or more significant. So Dax said he tried not to read into his team voting him off because it's just a game and everyone wants to win. To boot someone out or to kick out, which is a little bit more common. These both mean the same thing. It means to force someone to leave. Let's watch another clip.
We know what they were going to pick. They know what we were going to pick. So we're still back to just pick a color. It's an even playing field again.
They thought that you would choose red. So let's just pick blue, right?
No. Yeah. Look, he needs to go back to the other team. No, I'm playing.
Who were the vacillators there?
Me. I was the one that was kind of back and forth.
CJ surprised me in reverse because at first I thought she was very much about the money.
If you had a terminal disease and you could steal, theoretically, 20 years of life by letting a stranger die, would you do that or not?
I'd probably do it.
She said it so fast.
I mean, it's like the greater good, you know? Like,
For who?
For me.
But when she was switched over to our team, she seemed to have more of a humane side.
We figured you would think red, but want to change it to blue to throw us off. They are very wishy-washy, so I think that they would pick blue. Do you
Over
think
us.
Dax would be able to change their mind going over
No.
there? Okay.
I believe in go big, go home.
So you don't know for sure, but based on what they talked about, which colors did each team likely choose and why? Team A likely chose red because they rejected Dax's suggestion to choose blue, and Team B also likely chose red because Kira wanted to go big, go home. And if you don't know what that means, it's one of the vocabulary. Okay, now let's listen for what CJ says here.
I was the one that was kind of back and forth.
I'll play that again.
I was the one that was kind of back and forth.
CJ says, I was the one who was kind of back and forth.
I was the one that was kind of back and forth.
And if you don't know back and forth, that is also one of the vocabulary words. Okay, now listen and write down what Kira says.
I believe in go big, go home.
Let's hear that again.
I believe in go big, go home.
She says, I believe in go big, go home.
I believe in go big, go home.
DeSola said, I'm playing, after he joked that Dax should leave the team. If someone says, I'm playing, it just means I'm joking or I'm not serious. So don't take what I'm saying seriously. Patricia asked CJ who the vacillator was on their team. A vacillator is a person that is very unsure about a decision. They don't know what they're going to choose. And to go back and forth on something, that means to constantly switch your opinion or choice. You think you want one thing and then you change it to the other one and you just keep switching. So maybe if someone says, who did you vote for in the presidential election? You could say, I went back and forth, but I finally voted for Clinton. So I thought about voting for Trump, then I thought, no, I'll vote Clinton. No, I want Trump, and you just kept switching. If a disease or injury is terminal, that means that it is going to kill you. You will not be able to recover and go back to living a normal life. And then finally, to go big or go home, that just means to try the biggest or best possible thing, or don't try at all. So you should choose red because you'll either go big, win $1,000, or get nothing.
Can the team captains grab the envelopes?
I'm nervous.
Team A, reveal your decision. Team B, reveal your decision.
I mean,
It was a no-brainer.
I knew they were going to do it.
Oh, we all lost. We all lost the game.
So do you all agree that if the other team won, that would be worse than you both losing?
Yes.
I would feel that way, yes. I learned that I'm still very petty. It makes me feel bad that like I would have felt like worse if they want money.
See, for me, it wasn't even about them winning. Everyone in their mind knows, like, no one's going to choose blue. And I'm saying it right now, I don't think any team who ever plays this game will ever choose blue.
You guys want to shake hands? Good game.
No, I want to take the money, but, you know, I'll shake your hand.
Favorite competitor, me. Can I say me? Yeah. Myself, me. I was my favorite competitor.
It just seemed that the only logical choice was to go, quote, big.
Give me a hug.
Okay, I think people are altruistic when they know there's a cause, but in this case, it was just all of us just wanting money for money's sake.
Give me a hug.
I liked meeting new people. If I fully understood it and did it again and like knew, then I would probably just pick blue.
Why blue?
In the hopes that everyone would pick blue.
It fucks with your mind. But I love the name of the game because that, I feel like, was the game. Human theory.
This probably wasn't a huge surprise. Explain the result of this game. Both teams chose red, so nobody won any money. They both lost. Listen and write down what April says here.
I think people are altruistic when they know there's a cause.
Let's hear that again.
I think people are altruistic when they know there's a cause.
April says, I think people are altruistic when they know there's a cause. And if you don't know that word, it's in the vocabulary.
I think people are altruistic when they know there's a cause.
Now write down what Patricia says here.
It just seemed that the only logical choice was to go, quote, big.
Let's hear that again.
It just seemed that the only logical choice was to go, quote, big.
She says, it just seemed that the only logical choice was to go, quote, big.
It just seemed that the only logical choice was to go, quote, big.
And final vocabulary word. Altruistic, that means focused on other people. You care about helping others and you care about the well-being of other people. So it's the opposite of being selfish. Okay, that is all for this video. What do you guys think? If you were in this experiment, would you have chosen red or blue? Comment below your choice. And also, what did you think about the 6 people in the video? I could tell that he's an extremely shy person, but I really liked Dax. I thought he seemed like he had a really good heart. If you have any questions, you can also drop them in the comments, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.